Okay, so I want to start off with a short video on the Heimlich maneuver, and it's basically just a snippet of a smaller video. So I'm not sure if it's going to have audio, but I'll try.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll play without audio. So basically here we will see a group of kids going out to lunch, and it exemplifies how an accident is prone to happening to anyone and everywhere, depending on the situation. Okay, so choking can happen to anyone. So here is a group of friends, and they're having lunch casual like anyone else, when suddenly, there you go.
Bum bum bum.
Okay, and something bad is about to happen.
That's not funny.
Okay. So imagine you were out to lunch with your friends, and all of a sudden something of this sort were to happen. What would you do? What could you possibly be capable of doing to save his or her life? Something that you can do in a matter of seconds can differentiate between a life and death situation. And this is where the knowledge of knowing the Heimlich maneuver becomes essential. The odds of assisting a choking victim are somewhat probable, but it is something any individual is prone to becoming a victim of. This is only an example of a child beginning to choke. But however, this may occur to a child, an adolescent, a senior, an adult, or even a dog. Yeah, even your pet can be prone to choking. So, there are numerous people we confront on a day-to-day basis. So whether being in school or outside of school, in your neighborhood, anywhere, any person we confront on a day-to-day basis can also be prone to becoming a victim, and can be endangered by the unexpected risk of choking. Fortunately for me, I've never personally experienced anyone choking, seeing anyone choking, but nevertheless, we should all be able to help a person if ever confronted by the situation. The Heimlich maneuver is a procedure that is of great importance in knowing, since it has the capacity of one day saving someone's life. So first and foremost, I want to speak and give a little background history on the man responsible for inventing it all. And Henry Heimlich, Dr. Henry Heimlich, was the creator of what we all know today as the Heimlich maneuver. His process for saving the lives of choking individuals was initially accepted in August 1974 by the Journal of the American Medical Association. In an article published by the People magazine in 1993 called Mr. Lifesaver, it spoke about how Henry Heimlich, inventor of the famous Heimlich maneuver, came up with such an innovative idea to help stop the U.S.'s sixth leading cause of death at the time, which was choking. Dr. Henry Heimlich sought out a groundbreaking way to save the lives of many choking victims who normally died within minutes if they were not treated properly. So Dr. Heimlich initially experimented with an anesthetized beagle in order to prove his theory successful. So now that you essentially know a little bit more about the man who was responsible for creating it all, I want to explain more about the Heimlich maneuver, what it is, and what it consists of for those who are not familiar with the procedure. So according to the Columbia Electronic Encyclopedia, the Heimlich maneuver is an emergency procedure that is used to treat choking victims whose airway is obstructed. In an article posted on the Harvard Health Letter in August 2006, it states that each year about 3,000 to 4,000 Americans die from choking. Here is a table showing the total suffocation deaths of children. So we can imagine children and adults added together, and it just shows that it has been increasing by the years. And so how does this happen? The choking process occurs mainly during mealtime, as we saw earlier today. By getting food or small objects stuck between your tracheas, individuals are unable to breathe. This is how the Heimlich maneuver assists choking victims. So now that we know a little bit more about the important method of saving a choking person's life, I want to talk about the steps within the Heimlich maneuver itself. So there are 3 important and fairly simple steps that can be executed by almost anyone. So according to NLM health.nig.gov, the Medicine Plus website states that the Heimlich maneuver can be used on both children and adults, as well as even being able to perform it on yourself. And according to HeimlichInstitute.com, step 1 consists of wrapping your arms around the victim's waist. Step 2, you must make a fist and place the thumb side of your fist against the victim's upper abdomen, below the rib cage and above the navel. In step 3, grasp your fist with your other hand and press it into the upper abdomen with a quick thrust. Do not squeeze the rib cage. Confine the force to thrust to your hands. And lastly, repeat all steps until the object has been successfully removed. At last, according to the Harvard Health Letter, it is not recommended to perform the Heimlich maneuver if a person is able to speak. Because if a person is able to speak, it means that the object is not all the way it's not all the way obstructing the airway. So indicating that the person is able to speak and they're not having that bad of an emergency. So here we see the 3 basic steps, step 1, 2, and 3, and you must repeat all these steps until the object has been successfully removed. So now that we know how to perform the basic Heimlich maneuver, we understand that it is an essential skill in knowing because it might one day save the life of an individual. So in conclusion, the Heimlich maneuver is a very practical 3-step means by which a person may aid a choking individual, such as a toddler and adult, and ultimately save their life. And you can use it even on yourself. So the Heimlich maneuver can be executed by practically anyone, and it only involves 3 simple steps, which can be practiced on a range of individuals. In a quote from Dr. Heimlich in an article posted on People, Volume 51, Issue 23, he commented on the popularity of his invention. He stated, "It's a noun, I did the Heimlich, it's a verb, I Heimlich him, and it's an adjective, the Heimlich maneuver."